Nationwide day of protest spilling out into Uptown Charlotte.
A few hundred people marched outside the federal courthouse today, outraged by those two recent ICE-related shootings in Minnesota.
Our Michael Warwick reports from Uptown Charlotte with how even some businesses took part in today's protest.
Organizers urged people to stay home from work and school and to not go shopping. Some small businesses in Charlotte didn't feel as though they could close, but they wanted to stand in solidarity. Chanting in opposition to federal immigration operations right in front of the federal courthouse. A few hundred people marched through Uptown as part of a nationwide day of protest.
Come out here, make my voice heard, be peaceful about it, say, we don't want to see any of this anymore.
Sarah Seagraves began attending protests last year.
It's astonishing to see how bad it's gotten since then, and the crowds are just getting bigger and bigger.
Two deadly ICE-related shootings in Minnesota this month have added to the outrage.
It's important to organize as a community against what's been going on in the country. It's been steadily building, and the more that we can build against that, the more we can actually hopefully enact real change.
Some small businesses like the Coterie Wellness Yoga Studio in West Charlotte didn't feel as though they could close, but they found a way to honor immigrants with a special gesture, staying open. Here at the Coterie, the way they took part in this nationwide blackout to protest ICE was by offering free classes all day. The owner tells me she just felt compelled to do something.
This is a great place for them to be in community with people who do believe the same things and who want the same things for this country and for this city and for this space. So it felt really wrong to close, but this is the way that we're able to actually participate.
Some other small businesses donated a portion of their proceeds to immigrant groups today. Meanwhile, here at the protest, no confrontations occurred, and CMPD officers escorted those protesters along their march. In Uptown, Michael Warwick, WBTV, on your side.